More breaking news just coming in, this one from the Associated Press, and I'll read the exact wording that just moved over AP's urgent wires. Dateline Paris. Islamic State has dispatched hundreds of trained fighters to attack across Europe in a deadly wave, the AP has learned. Associated Press has reported in the last minute that security officials say up to 400 attackers are now trained for missions in Europe. We're waiting for more details on this. Again, the breaking news now from Associated Press, 400 attackers have been fanned across Europe and are ready and trained for attacks here across the continent. Yesterday's attack in Brussels marks the third large-scale terror attack in Europe in the past 15 months. That's because many of those who become radicalized are recruited right here on these very streets. Peter Vorsen is with me now. He's the European and External Relations Director for the European Institute of Peace. It describes itself as an independent partner to the European Union and to Europe itself. Peter, thank you.
Thank you.
The radicalization process is a hard one for people who don't live here and understand the culture to get their hands around. There are people who've lived in a neighborhood for decades. There's high unemployment, not a lot of way out, not great education, not cooperation with police. But how has the jump been made from impoverished and lacking hope to this radicalization?
Right. If you're young, you have few opportunities, whether it's work or just engaging with your communities. Radicalization offers you that hope. It's basically a joyride. You get community, you get action, you get purpose, and you get on that road straight to Syria where you can radicalize. So if you're recruited on the street corner, it may take as little as 6 weeks. We've seen that, but it could also take longer. And you are then on that road where suddenly your life gets meaningful. The risk is, of course, that you may then come back after that, or even before, and turn against what you may seem to be your neighbors, against other people in Brussels. But if you live in these detached neighborhoods, you don't feel like other people are your fellows, your neighbors. Your main associations are back with your brothers and sisters in Syria, Iraq, where the fight is waged.
This sounds like a cult.
ISIS is certainly way out there. It's a violent extremist group, and it's difficult to negotiate with a group like that. We believe that there are others that you can talk to, maybe not ISIS, but the task, I think, for the community here now is to engage with all of those that are not that extreme. We talk to those who may have radical views but not yet have gone over the edge.
Associated Press, you heard the report a moment ago, is now saying that 400 radicalized people have been fanned out across Europe to carry out attacks as needed. Is that a surprise, and if not, why not?
The bin Laden strategy has long been to take the fight to the capitals, take the fight back to the West. And so this is completely in line with that.
So radicalization and taking attacks to Europe, I know that there are great concerns in Italy. There are great concerns, of course, here in Brussels and across the land. Is this a problem for all of Europe, and is it a problem for North America as well?
I'm afraid to say that we think most likely there may be more attacks in Europe. The return of foreign fighters is still on the increase. I don't think we have sufficient intelligence and community engagement to cover all of Europe at this time. For the United States, I understand you've been looking at the question of terror attacks for a longer time. I think you have more experience with integration, immigration than we have in Europe, and communities are coming back in a stronger way in the United States than we do here so far. Although tonight is a good sign and start of community engagement.
It is a remarkable scene out here. We're locked down and our cameras are such that it's difficult to see, but there's been an extraordinary outpouring of emotion here. People out on frankly a chilly and at times wet day to just talk about unity and love and peace, and even if it's just words, it seems like it's at least a start.
It is a start, and from the communities where these attackers came from, we must remember there are many groups, including Muslim groups, and the challenge for Brussels right now is to make sure that the us becomes bigger than the them. So we need to embrace all of those who are willing to stand up and fight for what's right.
The us becomes bigger than the them. That's good. Peter, thank you. Nice to see you. All the best.